my name's Lindsay Milian. I graduated from Wichita State University and I received a degree in physician assisting. I currently am working as a health screener and doing biometric screening.
My name is Nelson Douglas Ross III. Always got to put that in there. I graduated from KU. I'm currently an academic advisor with the TRIO program, Student Support Services. So I'm lucky enough to be able to give back in that way. And the program I participated in was Talent Search. What I'm doing right now, I am an academic advisor for Student Support Services on Wichita State campus. I'm also the advisor for the First Generation Student Organization. That's kind of the way that I'm trying to give back to the First Gen and community here. I also intern for the State Department underneath a diplomat in residence in Oklahoma for foreign service affairs and advertising different student programs to our entire region. Currently, I've been accepted to Johns Hopkins and Georgetown for my next degree program, which is also thanks to TRIO in a large part. And I should soon be moving to the Washington, D.C. area to, get my next advanced degree.
My name is Alyssa Bay. I graduated from Wichita State University as well as Lindsay. I currently work at the University of Oklahoma. I work as a evaluation project manager. The TRIO program that I participated in was the McNair Scholars Program. So I work at OU, the University of Oklahoma. I am not a professor or anything, nor do I desire to do anything like that. I work in the Department of Epidemiology and Biostatistics. We do evaluation work on public health programs. I still don't know what I want to do when I grow up, which sounds weird because I'm all through school and in a great job and everything. But yeah, if anyone watches this video is like, I'm a senior, whatever, I don't know what I want to do. It's okay. It's okay. Just graduate, get into whatever job works for now, and you'll figure it out along the way. I'm still, I think I had a very clear idea, I want to start and then move up and become a director and things like that. And now that I'm actually in a job, I'm like, ooh, I don't know if I want that much responsibility. I don't know if I want those late nights and things like that. So yeah, anyone watching this who isn't sure, it's okay. Life will figure it out.
I'm Tammy Dorsey. I graduated from Wichita State University in 2018 with my biomedical engineering degree. And then last spring in 2020, graduated with my Master's of Innovation Design. I'm currently running my own medical device startup company, Prenatal Hope, as the CEO. And I participated in the TRIO and DDS program, combined program at WSU. So I'm the founder and CEO of Prenatal Hope. My company is about 3 years old. We're an early stage medical device company, and we are focused on helping to recover the US as a safer place of birth. We're doing that with our biomedical innovations. Specifically, we're giving doctors, we plan to give doctors the tools that they need to have objective information during labor and delivery to help reduce unnecessary C-sections versus using the archaic fetal heart rate monitors, which are very subjective and have a very high false positive rate and a poor positive predictive value.
TRIO and GEAR programs have helped me to assist me with my financial assistant programs. And they also advised me in making sure that I took the right classes to pursue my degree.
TRIO Talent Search, most of my experience goes back to when I was in middle school and high school. So they were mostly keeping me out of trouble, really. My parents worked a lot, and so TRIO Talent Search really became a second family for me during the summer months, keeping my education up. so I didn't lose that normal summer lapse, and just holding me responsible for what I was doing as I moved forward. Also, one of the largest things that they ever did for me was convincing me to apply for scholarships that I thought I was completely unqualified for. They helped me get the Bill Gates Millennium Scholarship, and that's really changed my entire course of education and life.
So like I mentioned, I was in the McNair Scholars Program, which helps underrepresented students go on to receive a post-bachelor's degree. I also forgot to mention that I have my doctorate in psychology, and that definitely would not have happened without McNair. The advisors there know that I was like, I just want to go to Peace Corps. I don't even want to go to grad school. And luckily I was in the McNair program, or else I absolutely would not have my doctorate, like would not. One of my advisors was like, just apply to one PhD program. And that ended up being the program I got into and, went through. So without McNair, I would not have my doctorate at all or received that higher education.
Quite similarly, I would have never been able to qualify for a master's program or higher education program had my GPA not been elevated with the assistance that I got from the TRIO DDS program. So I owe them my entire upper education, my higher education, my grad program, being able to access that.
I think it serves a good purpose for those who may have not had family members graduate. And also it gives them the tools and the advisors to really get into college and try to make the best of it.
The biggest contribution TRIO and Gear Up programs make to any community is that they instill hope in the community and hope in the youth, in the pre-college programs, during college, throughout the entire thing, because it is a scary thing for students who come from, not to say nothing, but no access to the kinds of educational systems or even access to someone who would know about them. And they are an in-way to just having hope to develop yourself. And I see that in a lot of people that didn't have that kind of support, that weren't able to do as well. And I'm just very thankful that TRIO came into my life in such a way.
They're literally like providing human capital to the Wichita community, to the nation. Like they're taking people who may not have had the opportunity to learn things or build certain skills, and they're saying, no, you can do it too. We're going to help you get through that process. And yeah, they just help us become better students, better people in our career, better skilled in general. I think there's a lot of talk about equity now, and that's exactly what TRIO programs do. They take people who don't have the resources, didn't have parents that went to college, and can provide them with information about certain things. And they say, we're going to give you an equitable chance at the same things that people whose parents did go to college or people who aren't in certain minority groups are have. So they provide a lot of like human resources to places of work and just society at large, I think.
I think across the board, it's really helped to push the inclusion and diversification. Just echoing what everyone else has already said, it really helped to level the playing field. There's all kinds of factors, especially non-traditional students that come in, and it really helps fill those gaps.
If it had not been for TRIO Gear Up program, particularly the Upward Bound Veterans program, I would not have graduated college. Like I wouldn't have been able to found the resources that allowed me to attend college.
If it hadn't been for TRIO, I would not have courage particularly the courage to fail, because they taught me that even though, I mean, success is a, pattern or a result of multiple failures usually. And I used to be afraid to fail. If I failed once, I wouldn't ever get back up. But they taught me that there's always going to be a support system or somewhere that I can go to find the courage to move forward through barriers.
If it weren't for TRIO programs, I would not have my doctorate. That's something that was 100% attributable to the McNair program.
I would not be running my own company in Chicago right now because I would have never gotten to my master's program, which helped catapult all of the events to get me to where I am now.
One particular program or assistance that Upward Bound assisted me with was with financial aid. They helped me fill out the paperwork. They helped me fill out additional aid that there was available. And so without that, I would have had a difficult time funding my college degree.
The most beneficial activity I had was actually when TRIO sent a bunch of different students to Washington, D.C. to advocate Congress on their behalf. That was my first real introduction to politics and political science. Getting to meet with a senator and telling him the story I had then of TRIO programs to help with the funding. But that really set me on the course that I'm on now, studying political science, working for the State Department, and then moving into the Foreign Service hopefully soon.
This is a very informal service. It's not like something like a class or something they provided, but I just think that the emotional support that was provided was so awesome because, we're like in my program, we were doing research projects and we were paired up with a mentor and all these things that are extra on top of just going to school and making good grades. So it's very stressful and it can get very rough sometimes. And it was just great to know that, I can go in my advisor's office and just cry or complain or whatever. And I'm always going to get some encouragement and just encourage, you can do it, stay in there. So that's a very informal service, but that was definitely beneficial for me.
Their laptop loaning program. I know that sounds like a very insignificant thing, but as a non-traditional student raising 5 very young children, that gave me exponential freedom from being tied to inconvenient hours at the library and trying to find sitters so that I could study efficiently. I was able to do things that students take for granted, studying from home, accessing software and learning programs that I would have never been able to had they not loaned me that laptop. That one small thing was monumental for me though, because I didn't actually get my first laptop until I graduated my bachelor's degree.
Well, honestly, I can't remember the name of the advisor that helped me. But I know that he was very patient, very kind, and he assisted me with filling out some tedious paperwork.
First of all, I'd like to thank you, Mr. Ramos, who's been supporting of me for years and years, even to this day, helping me get into advancing my career and advancing my educational purposes, and always remaining a connection to Wichita and the TRIO programs. Other people in Talent Search include Manny Soria, Miss Stephanie Haynes, Mr. Myron Richards. I don't think she works there anymore, but Heather Ybarra. They were all really essential in focusing my mind while I was young on education and making that seem like a real possibility. And all of these people have also been part of my life, as I've gone to other cities and other countries, and they've stayed connected to me and made me feel like I'm truly part of TRIO, which is kind of why I always try and give back when I can.
I feel really similar to what Nelson mentioned about the staff members making you still feel a part of TRIO and part of that family. So in McNair, Lawanda Holtfield, Ashley Cervantes, Nisha Green, they were definitely amazing. They went went and I'm sure still go above and beyond for their students. And I don't know, they're just amazing. And so encouraging. And then I also was a tutor counselor for Upward Bound, and I realized that like Miss Bhattacharjee, Mr. Feeney, Miss Hicks were also really instrumental in me growing as a leader, I think, because that was the first time that I really worked with like high school kids, and that was such a growing opportunity for me, and they were just so patient and always willing to give advice and understanding. So I did want to shout them out as well.
I want to give a nod of much appreciation to Vanessa, the TRIO program director at WSU. You know, I mentioned that I was a non-traditional student, and raising 5 kids while trying to earn a degree while my husband was actually out of state. So he was doing contract work for military contracts out of state. So I was essentially alone, these 5 kids, trying to juggle hours of homework and all the rigor that everybody is familiar with. And she never ceased to amaze me, despite juggling all of the other students, her staff, and the program initiatives. She always had time to reach out, to encourage me, to help me move forward through many failures. So Vanessa was pretty cool, pretty epic.
I'd like to thank Stacia, the director for Upward Bound Veteran Services, for allowing me to be a part of today's panel.
Might be cliche to say, but TRIO works. It just does. It's been a great program, my academic and professional life. And getting to see it from both sides kind of makes me appreciate the entirety of it a little bit more. And it's just a necessary program for everyone. It makes societies better, it makes academia better, it makes people better.
If you're thinking about getting involved in TRIO and you're a student, just do it. Definitely do it. It'll totally be worth it. If you're a funder in the government watching this right now, definitely know that it's impactful and it's worth funding. And if you are one of the advisors or someone who works in a TRIO program, you'll truly never know how much the impact is that you make on students' lives. Like, we can thank you a million times, but you are literally changing lives.
I'm so grateful for the synergistic benefits that there were with TRIO and the DDS working together. And even as a first gen student myself, things would have been so different without it. So the synergies really do equal success. And of course, we all know education is the first step out of poverty.